We are live. This is the Market Update, Friday Night Fire Edition. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Seems we have a little debate going on the internet about who should work where. Interesting. There's a crypto point. Ready? So we have side A and side B going at it as usual. Now, this is a distraction from the overall sort of euphoria that we've seen post-November. So everything's getting a little bit more sober, a little bit more serious. And you know what? I don't think they want it that way. At least I don't think the orange man does. So all this hubbub on Twitter can stay that way. And the longer it stays that way, it has an impact on two things. One, stocks of Magnificent Seven companies. They have a little bit of a PR problem these days. And guess what? What's the only positive distraction left, right? I mean, what was it all about? It was like, well, we want to be able to say what we want to say and do what we want to do. Well, I don't know if we can say what we want to say anymore, but we can do what we want to do. And Bitcoin and crypto and the strategic Bitcoin reserve may be the one thing that we can all agree on. So the longer this hubbub lasts with Web 2, the better the case for Web 3, obviously. And if you're looking to keep the positive momentum going on the winning side, I think you have to embrace crypto. Now, you're probably sitting there going, gee, Bill, that sounds good. They got to focus on the good, which is crypto, not the bad. Okay. So why does this market stink? What's going on? Okay. Well, it's pretty simple. Actually, it's really simple. Zero hedges on it. And it's obvious what they're doing. You know, algorithms come in and try to hit the market all day on any news, on any vulnerability, anywhere. They just hit it. And then ETFs, BlackRock, Michael Saylor, market makers, they try to buy as close to the low of the day as they can. And anytime it rallies, it looks amazing. Like Christmas Eve, it's like, oh, and then they smack it again. That's because Michael Saylor, in my opinion, knows the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. They all do. They all do. And they're going to do anything they can to sit on it. And that was a crazy theory of mine until Zero Hedge started running with it. So either they watch the show or they've got graphs or they got footprints in the snow. They're looking to hoover up anything they can. And what's really funny is, even though I know Bitcoin's going to go full volcano at some point, and I also know that altcoins don't trade well right now, but I just have this funny feeling that if something happens that's surprising, it's that stocks go down, altcoins lurch lower, but then they come back. Because altcoins haven't really been performing. I don't know. Solana hasn't done anything at all. So what happens if stocks go down, crypto goes down, but doesn't stay down? In other words, what happens if you have an ugly end of the year? Because you can't have problems in stocks now. I mean, you know, these big companies who have been playing the, I don't know, let's call it the head count game. Let's stay out of it. Let's call it the head count game. They've been playing games with, you know, who they hire and why. Yeah, okay, well, that's over. You know, the Twitter monster is awake, whether the guy that runs that show likes it or not. And this is going to have implications for big companies who utilize this system for getting people. Again, staying out of that. The stocks, I mean, I can come up with 6 reasons why stocks are no good relative to crypto. Now we have a Magnificent 7 reason. You guys just got caught in a Twitter trap, and you're not getting out of it. They're not going to let them off the hook. It hasn't stopped for 2 days. Okay. Now, again, that brings us back to crypto, right? Don't get distracted by politics. Politics will affect stocks. Crypto is going to be the answer, because if they're all sitting around going, well, you know what? They're kind of making us look bad on Twitter. We may have to make very difficult decisions here. But the one decision that's not difficult is to moon crypto, right? Because my popularity, or the Orange Man's popularity, is correlated to Bitcoin. And with the way things are going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Michael Saylor at the inauguration sitting next to the Orange Man in lieu of somebody else. How about that? Right? How about that for January fireworks? In the meantime, I can't be the only one seeing this. So BlackRock wants to try to buy on the low of the day every day, because they know Michael Saylor is coming with 10 billion, and they know the Orange Man is probably going to come after that with the Treasury's money. It's going to happen. Okay, let's welcome who's here. Let's welcome who's here. All right, SG, the original, is here. Welcome. Banks 911, Miguel, Miklo, Javi is here. Hello. Brandon, JJ Jones, right? What is the moment for ETH? And how long do you think the bull market will last? Okay, well, the answer to that is 10 years. Okay, but that means you're going to have 40% corrections along the way, just like stocks. Okay, when is ETH going to go? Right after the inauguration. Well, we'll refine that forecast later. Horace, David, Shaw, Crypnotic, Relentless, welcome. Crypto Scam, Incredible Gaming is here. Vincent, Gion, hello. Boss Ive, Nemeda, welcome from Guam. Kaizen fam in the house. Okay, news, let's go. Well, now, it seems that TikTok, that situation just got more interesting. Just got more interesting, right? Freedom of speech, or so they say. Orange Man files a brief with the Supreme Court, which is interesting because, you know, this is a rare case where Congress actually passed the law and the president signed it, and they played the national security card. So it should be a very interesting little court case, just as a reminder of how this worked in Canada. In Canada, they let people keep the app, but the corporate offices had to close. So the ad business went to other companies because the corporate sales teams weren't allowed in Canada anymore. So I don't think Americans are going to lose TikTok by any stretch of the imagination. But who gets the corporate ad dollars? I don't know. That would have sounded silly until you saw some of the stuff we've seen on Twitter lately, where, various players reserve the right to do whatever it is they need to do in the labor markets. So this just became way more important, right? It's like, do these guys agree to perhaps cooperate with something more friendly to the Orange Man? Did they say, oh, okay, we'll play ball on A, B, and C? Could be very interesting, but you know what? I'm really not interested in less speech. I'm not, after what I saw the last 2 days. Now, also as a reminder, all these macro heads who are like, oh God, inflation's coming back. Folks, AI and technological innovation of this nature is deflationary. I submit to you the personal computer market in 1999. A computer with 64 megs of RAM that had a DVD player in it was $4,000. Okay, you could probably buy that same computer now at Walmart, twice the power, for $89. Okay, all PC prices did when they would come out, they would go straight down. The more innovation you have, the less price pressure you have. This is completely an underrated phenomenon. And of course, another reminder from the Wall Street Journal, technology and full-time job creation in this country is at zero. right? And, they prefer one type of person from one type of country over another, whatever. Why are interest rates so high? Why is everyone in the bond market talking about inflation? Why? They are wrong, wrong, wrong. Unless the administration screws up this tariff policy and somehow messes up supply chains, deflation is the problem. Okay, so Uncle Sugar has finalized rules requiring brokers, whatever, right? It's amazing that these guys are acting like they still either have jobs or that Congress and the crypto lobby isn't going to come in and unwind this with the wave of a wand. No congressman is ever going to go without the crypto lobby money again. Okay, MicroStrategy bought 200,000 Bitcoin since announcing that they're going to buy $42 billion worth. As I said yesterday, this guy is not going to stop. And you can write all the tweets you want about how it's not going to work out and it's FTX part 2 and it's a leverage nightmare. Well, you know what? The U.S. housing market is a leverage nightmare. Okay. And it's okay. I say, let this man make his bet. Someone has to lead. Crypto has no spokesperson on YouTube, right? The orange man just stepped into kind of the, at least eliminating the Genslerization of the space. But who's the real leader? It's this guy. How do we get Web3? Well, we got to get Bitcoin going first. And if you're not sick of Web 2 by now, well, maybe you should read some news. Go on Twitter, right? Look at what they got there and say, oh, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, we want more of this Web 2 stuff, right? Where it's not exactly an economy with you in mind. Web3, you have a wallet. You're the sovereign. Bitcoin, you're the sovereign. Zcash, Ethereum, Solana. You know what? Meme coins. Guess what, folks? Meme coins are Web 2. Pump.fun or Web 2. Ready? Pump.fun. I'll take Pump.fun over Web 2 after what I've seen the last 2 days on Twitter, particularly from the guy that runs it. Yeah, we can have Pump.fun. We can have, some Pump.fun that makes fun of some of this stuff that, we're allegedly in your corner. Yeah, okay. No, actually, bro, you're allegedly in your corner, right? That's the corner you're in, or whatever these guys who write big checks. They don't write them for you. They write them for them. You want to write yourself a check? Web3, ski mask dog, virtual, whatever. In other words, trying now has more meaning. Yes, I know. You hit the green button. You hope for the best. You're afraid to buy the top. You're afraid it's going to go down one more time. You're afraid. Good. If there's uncertainty and fear, it's still a bull market. And they just handed you this incredible freaking reason, right? I asked an artificial intelligence program for a title, and it gave me the title of A Rocket Propelled by Stupidity. That's what you got tonight all over where. Stupidity. And the crypto rocket, Web3, will be fueled by that stupidity, because the case to embrace that at literally every level, with Michael Saylor, like coming after you with an orange fraternity paddle going, yeah, best get busy buying this because there's not going to be any left by the time I get done. In other words, you're getting told again in a very subtle way. In other words, everyone always looks at the news at a surface level. It's like, oh, look, everybody's all upset on Twitter. Yeah. Okay. So what's the unifying force here? What's the unifying force? Crypto, right? What do we need to protect ourselves? Crypto. What's Michael Saylor want to do? Crypto. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy want to raise 10 billion, 330 million shares outstanding, which means they want to increase the shares outstanding by 3,000%. What does this mean? It means he doesn't care. He doesn't care, right? In other words, he's going to change the currency system of the world. And if he's wrong, well, so what? Like, we're either going to launch a rocket and go to the moon, or we're going to land in France and take back Europe, or we're going to change the currency and start Web3. And if we fail, well, that would be awful, because failure is not an option, which is why he's just going all in. Well, wouldn't you know that Rumble stock is up 130%? Ooh, can I say that on the air? Probably shouldn't. Yeah. You know, these alternative social platforms like DGen, like, why is DGen not up 30%? Does Farcaster have a token? I mean, is this stuff? I mean, that stuff, people are going to wake up Monday and go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, I'm not doing this. That's your opinion? Oh, these people got shut off? Oh, really? This is Web3, these people. Okay, so this is the brief to save Tic Tac. Most likely they'll save it for the users. Where did the corporate ad dollars go? Americans, you know, they have to compete. Yeah. They also need a currency that works. So everyone's like, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe this problem is because the currency is too strong. Maybe somebody's cheap and somebody's expensive because the currency is too strong. No one has talked about this, right? It's like a current American employee in dollars in the current regime is too expensive. So what has to drop? The currency? The currency. The problem, yes, there's an employment labor market thing, which I'm going to stay out of. But this also could be an indication that there's something wrong with the currency. Like, the labor is mispriced here, perhaps. Yeah, U.S. Congressman says, I don't know that congressmen should be trading stocks on information that you don't have in public. Again, whose side are you on? Who's on your side? Well, I think Michael Saylor is. I hope the Orange Man is. But you know what? You're going to have to be on your own side. Crypto ETFs just waiting for today's high-frequency sell ignition to pile in. So the moral of the story is BTC inflows. I guess you can say all these colored numbers are ETFs buying on the lows, or ETF companies, right? Everybody buys when ETH is down. They're going to do this until the catalyst that makes it all erupt go. And you know what? They're probably grateful for every day that they get. Every day we can get a hold of this stuff before it just ignites is a great day. It's a great day, because there's going to come a day where they're just not going to be able to get it. They're going to have to market buy it, or they're going to have to start taking over companies. And here we are in crypto going, oh my God, I'm so depressed. The market's down. Meanwhile, in legacy, they're like, oh God, thank God the market's down. Oh, I thought this was going to run away. Like, they're bringing out high frequency, like, algorithms that move in a fraction of a second to try to push crypto down. How are they doing, by the way? How's that going? What do they got Bitcoin at? Like, what, 95? You know, they kind of sat on Solana a little bit, but XRP is not going anywhere. How's it going? You know, like, you know, they're going to need a stock market problem, which you may have on Monday. So don't Don't go anywhere for those charts. Like, literally, crypto Christmas may be next week. It may be. Because you know what, boys and girls, Web 2 has a problem. Like, yeah, Web 2 has a big, big problem. Because their use of these employment methods is apparently readable, like on a blockchain. So, yeah. Those stocks on Monday. I'm actually looking forward to see what Kramer has to say about it. Terra Lunar Do Kwon to be extradited to the United States after 2 years. Boy, did this guy really blow up the world, huh? Like literally with this guy, I thought it was the end. When this algorithmic stablecoin fell apart, I remember one of our guys saw it kind of as it was happening. And even though they saw it, it was still very hard to react to. It was hard to believe what was transpiring. And FTX was even more unbelievable. But if you'd seen 2008 before, which I had, then you knew what this was. It was a system-wide liquidation. Now, on a much more positive note, which I said we were keeping it much more positive because the why are we here for 2025 is all about the positive. XRP, Solana, Hedera dominate watch lists as crypto ETF approvals loom. Okay, so you're the orange man. You're walking into the office, all the crypto bros, all the Soros guys, all the VCs, they're all gathered around. They say, well, Mr. President, we have a problem. These people are not happy. These donors are not happy. Okay, who can we make happy? Who can we make happy? And how can we make money? And how can we make ourselves popular? Oh, okay. Well, let's approve XRP, Solana, HBAR, and Algorand to either be in an ETF together or separate ETFs. Let's get the American-made cryptos out there. Let's call them up and make sure they have a catalyst. And let's wear an orange tie and let's go. Let's go. Right? I mean, literally, this like little divisive storm that just perked up has to work in crypto's favor. Now, again, crypto, thanks to the algorithms, may wind up following stocks. Again, we'll go through the charts. If they can't hold stocks down, then you got to watch out, right? New rule will allow Michael Saylor to show the profits from Bitcoin and have his stock not rated a D. Okay. Let's not do that, even though I kind of like it. Let's go. Right. Let's not do that one. If you're on the wrong side of the orange man, be careful. If you're on the right side of the orange man, be careful. Stay on the right side of the orange man, for God's sakes. And if not, it's okay, because then he's going to have to turn to Bitcoin more. That's my view. Okay, PowerPoint, more important now than ever. All right, S&P monthly. Not looking so good. Whoops, I got to share. S&P monthly, not looking so good. May not be an imminent top. Maybe QQQ tops in January. Like I said, these guys, they all, like, not just the Magnificent Seven, like anybody who uses the type of practices that are currently being discussed is going to face scrutiny and is going to have to reverse themselves quickly. Because I don't see an inauguration speech where it's okay to use these type of instruments to bring in golf pros, tennis pros, and pickleball pros from overseas. I'm not buying that we don't have enough tennis players in the United States. Something is amiss. This could affect the stock market. It could. Because this whole, it's a hot economy thing. I don't know about that. And now you guys are staring down, you guys are staring down a Twitter problem. Okay, S&P at the premium zone, 5-wave top. I don't know. This doesn't look good to me. It hasn't for a couple days. It's not going down. That's great for crypto, but if there ever was just kind of one heave, right? That might be crypto Christmas. That might be it, right? That might be the day that the algorithms take advantage, smack crypto, and then you can just get down there and just hoover it all up. Okay, Dow Industrials. Now, again, this is a little bit into the weeds, but this Williams oscillator is very close to zero, which means there could be a big move, right? And this pink line means Lux Algo is like inserting resistance as, your dad's stocks go down only. This is the Dow 20. It's your grandpa's stocks. But this is down only. Has been for 10 days. I look at Dow Transports. Transportation stocks, again, down only, and Lux Algo inserting resistance, money flow negative, and Williams oscillator hinting at a big move. Yikes. Are they going to walk in on Monday and just sell? I'm sure everybody wanted to sell in January to take profits. That seems logical. Still may happen, but is everyone's labor costs about to go up? Okay, well, if that does happen, Riot blockchain and crypto stocks may wind up filling a gap. What do you know? Like Riot is now, I don't know, in shouting distance of the election gap. Gee, I guess we don't need any more Bitcoin. We don't need the Bitcoin miners anymore, huh? I mean, it's kind of funny. Like MicroStrategy came off. I get that. But the mining stocks, I don't know, man. The stock was at 16, and now it looks like they want to attack 10. That's got to be a long-term buy if they try to fill this gap for whatever reason. Okay, total 3. We discussed this last night. Altcoins are at resistance. And I realize this is completely counterintuitive, but if something gets to resistance, backs off, but not a lot, I like it. So if they smack the market at the end of the month, I like altcoins. I mean, I couldn't even make up a case like this for Web3. You know me. I'm always like getting out news articles. I'm like, okay, let's read between the lines. Okay. Never did I think, we're going to do First Amendment. On Twitter. So we're going to take a break from that. We're going to do a 20-second timeout. Really? Huh. Decentralized Web3. Boy, that just became a lot more interesting to me. They may sell altcoins. I don't know what they're going to do. Like they're so desperate to get Bitcoin. I don't know how they're going to, I don't know who's going to sell them Ethereum at 3,000. I mean, I guess the crypto bros will, because they're all sick of it. I mean, I saw a graphic or a meme of a kid opening up a Christmas package crying because it had the ETH logo in it. I think we have adequate revulsion in ETH. I can't believe they're going to sell Web3. And if they do, it's like you just take it all from them. It would be a very powerful statement. Now that I think of it, if something does happen, whatever it is, and altcoins go down, but it comes back, if that happens, watch out. In other words, they're trying to hold it down. There is Web3 friendly news. So if it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. So if you get a dip and they buy it, well, then the only unifying force in the world as of now is crypto. And if stocks get hit and crypto doesn't move, or if stocks don't get hit, right? Or you have like any kind of weakness where, even though crypto just continues to slump, if you get some sort of heave, but it comes back, that you got to be at the edge of your seat. You got to be locked in looking for some side of, believe it or not, you're almost talking about the failed rally. You're almost looking for a failed decline. You're looking for stuff to just go down maybe and then come back. And if that happens, well, then you know Web3 is on. Okay, so, all the negative guys are talking about how Bitcoin on a long-term chart is overbought. The new highs are not confirmed. It's overextended. There's too much FOMO. There is visual evidence of all these things, which is probably why they're trying to lean on it. I'm not the only person who can see this. They're like, well, maybe we can break it. Maybe we can crack it if stocks crack. A lot of times when you see these kind of divergences, it normally works out in like a 20% correction. I mean, that's just the facts. That's just what's out there. So obviously, if Bitcoin went down 20%, that would probably be a mess for altcoins and equities. Again, we're watching and hoping and waiting for that failed decline where it goes down and then comes back. Okay, there's good news and bad news about Cardano. The bad news is you have a head and shoulders top. You also have Charles Hodgkins smoking a giant cigar on Twitter. I get it. He's happy. He's back. Cardano's not going down. That's good. But Cardano's got to break this formation, right? Cardano's got to get itself back above $1. Cardano's not back above $1. Cardano is vulnerable. Oh, I would love to see Cardano just explode, because if Cardano explode, XRP, Algorand, and Hedera are going to explode. There's a problem with XRP. It's Cardano underperformance right now. Okay, well, Solana is sort of waffling at its equilibrium zone. So it's not doing anything terrible, but you can say Solana is not doing anything good right now. It's not, right? I'd love to see this thing. Normally it's like it gets to its equilibrium zone and just whips right back up. Well, no one's doing any ripping in Solana, it's getting to the point where I don't understand it. Like, what are they going to do with this thing? Are they taking it to, the discount zone's at 120. I have a very hard time seeing Solana at 120. Unless you have a calamity in risk assets. I don't even want to talk about it because everyone's like, oh my God, Bill, you said 120. My favorite scenario in the market is that it does nothing. It looks like it's going to go up and it looks like it's going to go down, but it doesn't go anywhere. Right? Especially if stocks go down. Like stocks go down and crypto does basically nothing. Oh. The case for Web3 is there. The other point about the Solana chart is, again, like the dawn of Web3, like the Dogecoin guy, ironically, just made the case for Web3. Not in the way you thought he was going to, but he just made the case. And everyone's selling. It's unbelievable. It was the same thing with the election. Like the night before the election, people couldn't sell. It was like Benjamin Cohen, like all coins going to zero. Everything's going to zero. Boom. Now they just told you must have Web3. You must have Web3. There is nowhere to hide on Web2. Nowhere. But let's sell Ethereum to 3,000. I don't know. Nobody wants Ethereum for any reason. Okay. They've done a nice job of working off the overbought condition, right? Support is at 3,060. We've been here for so long. It's like a stable coin. But, Ethereum's not doing anything bad right now. Not at all. Right? ETH on a weekly chart, there's all this negative divergence. So what should I do? I say, let me join all the pinheads and say, yeah, it's going to 2,000. You know what? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. I think you're going to get a nasty dip. If that, it's going to be related to stocks. And even if it's not, the dip's temporary. Because there's so many people who are trying to push crypto lower. The day they can't do that anymore, the day it just levitates. It just levitates. I know they used to do this in stocks. They used to push it down and try to break it, make everything look terrible and make everyone stop out and everyone get short. And then they would just take it up. They would just take it up. Right? I mean, go back to that Wall Street Journal headline about like what is actually going on with the employment picture in this country. Like this is the dollar. Like if there's a problem with this market, it's the dollar. Why is the dollar at 108? Like, I don't know. Are interest rates going up? Or are we going to have an inflation problem? We just talked about what AI really does to the economy. What is the currency doing up here? We're talking about mispriced labor markets. What? Yeah, I mean, get out of here. This is why any dip, it's just got to be hoovered up. This cannot go higher because the thing that's messed up about it is the dollar is wrecking precious metals. Like crypto is down, Bitcoin is okay, 98 or whatever. But silver looks like it's trying to break here. So this thing with the dollar is silly, but the market's taking it seriously for the moment. And one thing about everyone's like, well, let's do the year in review. Well, okay. The year in review is all the groupthink from this year will be wrong next year. So, first the groupthink was short dollar and then it went up. Now the groupthink is long dollar. Then the groupthink this year was long gold, right? That was going on for months. It was like gold up only every day. Then, I don't know, 2 months later, it was let's sell all the gold in the world and buy Bitcoin. And that's not right either. So what's the groupthink? The groupthink was you could say whatever you wanted to say on a certain platform. Well, guess what? That's not true. That is not true. So no one talked about Web3. Maybe we should talk about Web3. Everyone thinks Bitcoin is going to go to 200K by the end of next year. What happens if Bitcoin goes to 200K off the inauguration? What happens if Michael Saylor is sitting next to the orange man at the inauguration? Because you know what? That was a joke 3 days ago. That is not a joke now. And Michael Saylor is doing whatever he's doing because he knows the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. And now you absolutely know it's coming. Matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt that on any decline, you have these algos panic smacking the market trying to get anything they can. Because there's only one way to lift people's spirits now. There's only one way. I mean, if conservative men and liberal women are generally unhappy, which is what the data shows, and, I think whatever's going on social media now is going to make, I don't know, certain groups pretty down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, how are we ever going to compete? And the guy that was supposed to care about us doesn't care. What does that say? It says 2 words, actually. The green button. The green button. Because the dollar is breaking everything else. And when this stops, right, the dollar cracks. And I don't know, like with Bitcoin dominance, like Bitcoin dominance is in a state of balance at 58. I would find it horrifying if Bitcoin dominance went back to 61. I want to think that just can't happen. I also want to think that if it did, it would be like someone's asking me how long the cycle is. Yeah, well, the cycle is whatever dip you get here, this could be a very, very big low. Whether it's like, I don't know if it's going to be tonight, but as you go into next week, if you have this weirdness continue, equities, crypto, dip, glory. All right. Let's see who's here. AIT. Okay. DGen, Lux Algo, 12-hour chart. That's a good question. Fascinating time frame, 12 hours. Okay, this is from Bybit. Okay, my guess with this is that when you have these ABC corrections, I know it's hard to see the C, but perhaps you got one more big puke to 0.007, 0.00753. So maybe it's just one more puke. That's kind of in line with what we've been saying. I know it's not what you want to hear. I don't want to hear it, but if they're coming after equities on Monday, it's not going to be a good weekend for crypto. Should be a good weekend for crypto because this Web3 thing needs to happen, but we'll find out. Can we look at Swift? I don't think I ever get the symbol for this correct. Okay, let's try Hedera and Ondo. Okay, 4-hour charts have been working, I think. You know, so Hedera is below its equilibrium zone. It's not, this market doesn't have the bounce. I mean, you used to see these support levels and the market would just turn around and rip to the upside, right? Not seeing that anymore, to state the obvious. Right? So when you look at all of these coins on like a 4-hour chart, you know, they're all hanging out below these moving averages. You know, like Solana, for example. You know, you see how these DeMark moving averages, like every time there's a rejection, you know, Solana moves down, rejection, down, rejection, down. You know, the down moves vary in size, but you know, these moving averages are capping what's happening. They're capping the market. I mean, it's very pronounced in Bitcoin, and these are, you know, like quantitatively drawn moving averages. I mean, you know, this is a break and then a return move and a colossal failure. And every time they try to break any of these moving averages, it doesn't last. And now it just kind of goes there and goes straight down. So, I mean, you know, I know it's like, don't shoot the messenger, but this is not the kind of market where it's like, oh yeah, man, like I want to just, you know, I want to pile in, but you know, they may give you like some kind of fantastic opportunity. Like literally, I'm serious. Like they may just, you know, you're not going to like it when it's happening. Yeah, see, I mean, look at Ondo on like a 4-hour chart. There's a whole bunch of DeMark support at $1.45 and nobody cares. Nobody cares, right? There's bottoming signals here. No one cares. I would say if this continues to slump like this, it's $1.30. And I would say if it does continue to slump like this, it's the algorithms mentioned by Zero Hedge combined with the fact that Web 2 has got a massive problem. I mean, they got a massive problem. So what you're seeing here, I don't know how much it has to do with you know, with crypto itself, right? I don't. I think crypto is being hit by outside forces. Okay. Looking for my next coin here, Luna by Virtuals. The big question is, are we headed, like I've seen what A16Z is doing. You know, it is amazing how some of these narratives they just kind of gave up on. I don't know if it's because the hot new thing comes out and then no one's interested after that. Like maybe A16Z is eating everyone's lunch here. Feels like some kind of rounding bottom to me. Or possibly a teacup and handle. I think the moral of the story is that people get angry because their coin isn't mooning. I'm not saying you are, but I don't know, man. It's really tough to get negative, right? It's like, yes, the market does not trade well, but it's very hard to get negative when you look at that, right? Oh my God, is this thing at 3 billion now? Holy crap. Excuse me. Wow. Somebody was asking me, can I buy this at 2 billion? I hope I gave the right answer. I mean, this is like a one coin market. And I think it's a leading indicator for base and ETH as an ecosystem. Like, remember how I was saying like a billion for something that's really got the AI thing down is too cheap? But this feels too cheap. That's why it's trading the way it is. That's why it trades the way it is. Because, you know, there's the fundamental narrative is so strong, it doesn't get held down by the rest of the market. I'm not trying to get you to FOMO in at 3 billion. I'm saying that's a reflection. That's a reflection of the narrative. Here's an interesting little statistic. Top crypto gainers for 2024, virtual at 23,000%. Aerodrome, 3,000%. Fartcoin, 2,000%. Incredible wealth got made this year. If you didn't make any of it, it's okay. Because whatever lessons you learned in 2024 will help you in 2025, right? All the winners from this year will not be all the winners from next year. You know, virtuals may be the exception. Arrow may be the exception, right? Mantra, that's Ohm, I think. Yeah. But everything that's here will not be here this time next year. It'll be something else. Just remember that. So you're like, oh my God, I missed it. They publish these things to make you feel bad. Don't. Again, it's why are we here? So with Luna, if it continues to slump, it's absolutely on sale. Correct. Okay. What I would say is if it continues to slump, it's building a base. So if you believe in it, the bigger the base, the higher in the space. That's how I would do it. In terms of a sale, I do think that's a good analogy, right? If something is down and you believe in it, it's a sale. And if the market is down and you believe in it, it's a sale, right? And if they sell Web3 because they sell Web2, then Web3 is a buy because it's on sale. It's on sale right now. Who knows what happens Monday? I don't know. Maybe it's something else. What do you think of the EU delisting Tether? Okay, well, you know, I think whatever governments do, especially that government, it usually backfires, right? You know, they've been after Tether for a while because they know that if they can get Tether, they can get the ecosystem. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we think a European government would take down crypto? Like, why do we think that can happen? Like, the guys at Tether are stupid and don't know that they're all after them. And everybody and their brother, Circle, all these big players, Ripple, they all want to do stable coins, right? So yeah, if there was a tether disturbance, that would be a problem. That would be a mess. But it's not like the market is not innovating something else. Matter of fact, I think people want something else, honestly. I mean, I know institutions don't want to get caught in that, right? So whatever's, I want to flip everything from negative to positive. Like, there's nothing wrong with Tether, but it could be great for Ripple stablecoin. Okay, AIT on a 4-hour chart. Depressed, right? Hammered into sand from 15 down to 9 cents. It's like they took it up and then they acted like there was nothing there. Right? So not intimately familiar with what this does, but I don't know, man. They took it below the 62% retracement. They took it down about as far as you can take it down, and everybody gave up. Look at this. In other words, if you believe in the reason why this went up in the first place, well, everyone else just packed it in and gave up. And you may see this throughout the rest of this year. You may see people going, yeah, I thought whatever I was in was good 100x, and I just gave up. You may see that. You may see like a miniature give up trade. Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Everyone's giving up because it didn't 100x in a week. When the reality is it could 1000x over 10 years, whatever it is. I just don't think that type of thinking is on people's radar. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Be on the alert for the end of the year sale in crypto. Web3, buy Web3, sell Web2, or sell Web2 and then buy Web3. I mean, it can't be clearer. The path for Bitcoin, the path for Web3, algos trying to hold the market down. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. The day everybody wakes up and goes, oh my God, what is this on my phone? What? My favorite account's gone? Oh, wait a minute. Let me just swipe over here. Oh, look, there's Coinbase. Oh, look, I can put money in. Boop. There has never been a better case, literally. We'll see you on Monday.